Okay, I was looking for a video for a lead wipe for several years. I've had to take the test twice myself, and since there's none out there, I figured I'd make one. The first rule in lead wiping, which this is a factory lead wipe, if you could see, you have your brass ferrule into your lead, and you can see it's factory lead wiped. In the old days, they used to do this on the job. So now, in order to become a master plumber in some areas, you need to do a lead wipe. Okay, what's a lead wipe consist of? A lead wipe consists of taking a brass ferrule, okay, which we'll show you how to prep in step 2, a piece of lead. This is a piece of 3-inch lead. This is a piece of 4-inch lead, and you have to put the lead into the ferrule, and then you have to tin it to be ready for a lead wipe. Now, what will you need to be able to do it? You will need, first of all, you will need plumbing candles, okay? A plumbing candle serves as a basic flux, okay? You will need plumbing soil. Yeah, that's small cans, but they do their job, okay? You'll be applying the plumbing soil onto the ferrule and the lead where we don't want the lead wipe to attach, okay? The other thing we'll need is we're gonna need a pot, okay? We're gonna need a pot to melt our lead in. We're going to need a ladle to pour our lead out of, okay? And then we're going to need what they call at the supply house lead bars. I buy the 1-pound bars, okay? I buy from Blackman in New York. There's 22 different locations, and they're very good at getting your material, even if it's not on a daily basis. You might have to wait a day or two since this is odd items, but the best lead to wipe with is 40-60. Okay, you could go 50-50, but I prefer the 40-60 lead, okay? So you'd be taking these lead bars, all right, and you'd be melting them in the pot with the ladle, and then I'm going to be showing you how to do that in step 2. But another important thing is, of course, wear safety goggles, because you could burn yourself, all right? But basically, there's a lead bar basically melted to tin. You got your safety glasses, and you got your gloves, okay? The other thing that's really important that you're going to need is a wiping rag, all right? This is a new wiping rag that I didn't wax yet, and this is one that I've been using. This is actually a a waxed rag already, and I'll show you before I do it. But like I like my rag malleable, but it has to have a lot of wax on it. So when you're coming across your joint, you're basically going to want to use 3 fingers. You're going to want to press one on the outside, and keep your one in the middle as you're going over it. Now, if the video is showing you this bowling pin, all right, of course it's a USB-C approved bowling pin, plastic. But if you can find a bowling alley in your area and ask him for a bowling pin, you're going to say, oh, what is he doing with this bowling pin? Well, I had a teacher of mine a long time ago teach me with a wooden pin, of course. You know, you can see as you get lead, it comes dented and it comes fragile, and you're going to say to yourself, wow, how am I going to straighten that out? So that's what everybody says. So this is a 3-inch piece, okay, which this pin might work in the other way, but this is a 4-inch piece. And most of the time we're working with a 4-inch piece. But as you see, if you insert the pin in the 4-inch piece and you bang down on it, you'll see how straight that gets, how fast. So basically, a bowling pin is another way of using the tool. Y'all better off with a wooden bowling pin. I went to the bowling alley. They were gracious enough to give me this one. It's plastic, and it does do the job, okay? So you got your bowling pin, you got your lead, and then as we come down here, of course, I have my Milwaukee drill with my cleaner, which I use personally to try and, you know, clean up all my brass, all right? The lead, of course, we're not going to clean the whole piece, but after I bang it in, I'll show you, I'll show you the size that we're going to do our lead wipe and everything in. And the other most important part of this job is we're going to need our ball peen hammer. So what do you need a ball peen hammer for? Well, the lead has to come into the ferrule, and then in order to set the lead to the ferrule when it comes in, which I'll show you in the next video, you're going to use the ball peen hammer to peen the lead into the ferrule. You bring it in and you bang the lead in all the way around so that the brass doesn't move from the ferrule, and you don't want, you know, if toilet paper was to go through the ferrule, if you didn't flatten the lead down, then the toilet paper would stick on the top. So you're basically using it to bang down the lead, which I'll show you in video 2. All right. And now there's 2 different types of Genco furnaces, Genco. This is the furnace I prefer. I prefer this particular furnace. Okay. I have my lead pot here, all right, which is full with lead, but it's not hot yet. Otherwise, I wouldn't be touching it. I have my cover here, and I have my Genco furnace here. Now, the reason I like this one better, this is the newer style, even though it looks really old. I have my adjustment here for my flame, okay, which is a handle right here, and it's attached to a hose to the propane tank that you can see over to my right. Now, right next to it, as you can see, I keep the propane tank as far away from me as I can, because the propane, of course, is the dangerous aspect of this. But what I also have here is I have an older Genco furnace. If you see, I have again, I have my pot, I have my cover, and then I have my Genco furnace on top of the tank, which I'll show you. In the old days, you used to just put the Genco right on top of the tank. But in my opinion, this system is a little bit dangerous, because you're melting 700-degree lead on top of a propane tank. So I do have it here just to show you. I personally don't use this at all anymore, but it was given to me from one of my old-time friends, and I keep it in memory. But again, I use a regular propane tank with the hose, and I come over to my regular Genco. So that being said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start prepping a 3-inch ferrule and a 4-inch ferrule, and then we'll start up another video, and then I'll show you how to heat the lead, what temperature you want to get it to, and how to heat the ferrule, and how to tin the brass and the lead. Look forward to seeing you in video 2. Okay, welcome to lead wiping part 2. Part 2. Here goes my 4-inch piece of lead that I'm going to put a ferrule on. I know there's one on this side, but I don't want to spend another $50 to teach you. So I'm going to just reuse this top half to teach you how to put the ferrule on. All right, as you can see, the lead is crooked on the top. So just a simple way to teach you how to straighten the lead. What I was taught, you take a bowling pin, if you can get one from your local bowling alley. This is USB-C approved pin, but now what we'll do is we'll take our pin, we're going to stick it in here, and give it a couple whacks. And now look what we got. Now I got a beautiful round circle circumference. And I just want to let you know there's some noise in the background that you're hearing. And the noise is that I turned on my Genco furnace, because as soon as I'm done with this, I'm going to show you how to melt the lead. Okay? Now we need to get our ferrule on here, and we need to get our ferrule set. Okay? So now what we're going to do is we're going to get our ferrule around this piece of lead, and then we're going to bang it on. I have my smaller hammer. I'm going to try and bend my edges over a little bit so I get my ferrule on. I'm going to bend the tops over so I can make sure I got it seated well. The ferrule's the exact same size as the lead, which of course gives you that snug fit. So this part takes a little bit of temperamental strength and just a tiny bit of force. How's that? I'm rolling over a little bit of the edges to make sure that I don't have any of it roll. Okay, so now I got my ferrule in a reasonable spot. I'm going to try and go around and try and get it down a little even. Try and keep it going even all the way around. And what I have here is I have a board. Now that I know I have it set pretty good, now I'm just going to use the board, make sure I'm getting set down. Now I'm just going to try and send it home. Now what's the distance you're going to say? You're going to put the ferrule down, right? So I'm going to show you that now. We're going to put the ferrule, alright? We're going to put the ferrule down so that, as you can see, in the inside, I brought the lead to right here. You see how I have the lead right next to the lip? Alright? So now I have the lead right next to the lip of the edge. And then what I got to do now is what I was telling you before. We're going to need to use a ball peen hammer, okay? And now what we're going to do is we're going to beat down the lead. Alright, so you actually take the ball peen hammer and you gotta get this angle in this way here. You wanna flatten your lead down in here so that you're bringing the burrs of the lead down into your ferrule. Okay? And you want to keep doing that. You want your lead and you got to beat it down the whole way around. You need to have your lead flush with your ferrule so that when you are flushing or bringing anything in here, you don't want it to stick and go behind the lead. So you want to beat it in as good as you can. So now we're just going to make sure we get a nice smooth edge from our lead to our brass. Nice smooth edge from our lead to our brass. Okay. While I've been doing this, I've been melting lead. I think you hear the furnace in the background. So I have a piece ready, and first show you how to tin this and everything. Okay, welcome back to lead wiping part 3. Alright, I already just showed you how to put the ferrule on now. Now I'm going to show you how to tin it. Yeah, this side is tinned, this side is lead. But I'm just going to show you what you're supposed to do to have it prepped. I use a drill with a cleaner on it. So basically, I taped it up, and you see how I'm cleaning her out. We want to get the lead nice and clean. We want to get our brass nice and clean. I use the tape as a guide. I am working on pieces that I've been working on through the years. You guys know how much this stuff is. I'm running the instructional video because whenever I did it, there was nothing out there. And if you go on a web, you'll see there's one guy that's wiping lead on a wire. But nobody's ever shown how to do it on a ferrule. So I figured I'd put it out there just in case anybody should need it. I know it's an old trade, but might as well put it out on the video. Okay, now you guys can see I have it all cleaned up. This is actually lead, it's not tin. This is really tinned already. I have two choices of how to tin it. I can just use a standard solder to tin it up, or I can use a lead bar, which is what we're gonna melt it on. Because of the situation we're in, I'm just gonna use the solder. Makes it a lot easier, and it'll take me just a minute. So I'm just going to use my regular torch, and we'll just tin this puppy up real quick. Get it ready for a lead wipe. But all you got to do is heat your brass. Candleless flux, almost forgot that. Can't tin without flux now, can you? Just want a little base of solder across the whole piece so that when you lead wipe, you got a tin base. So as you can see, I mean, you don't want to pour the lead on the lead, it's not going to stick. I do all my work on a piece of sheetrock because the sheetrock doesn't burn. Burn, you know, of course, if you hold the torch on there for a while, I think the sheetrock's better than wood. So you're going to want to tin it all the way around. The whole purpose of the tin is that the lead is going to stick to your joint area. How far do I make the joint? I make the joint approximately 1 3/8 inches. Now you guys see I made it all the way around. And as I told you guys in the beginning, because it was a used ferrule, the brass side was already tinned. No reason to waste our time tinning the top section. Now you take the tape off, which I could have did even before I started. Now we got a tin ferrule and joint ready for a lead white. Okay, so we got a tin ferrule and joint ready for a lead white. All right. Of course, the tape is nice and hot since I just torched it. She's ready for white. All right. I just did that to show you how to do the tinning and the ferrule. Now there's one more stage that's very, very important, which of course this piece now, due to the fact that we just tinned this and heated it, it's actually too hot. So there's the next step. The next step is our plumbing soil, which plumbing soil is going to get put where we don't want the lead to be. So we want the lead to be from here to here. So we would basically paint this whole ferrule black. All right. That was just to show you how to do the ferrule. You put your lead, you banged it in. You taped off your area, you tinned it, now you're ready for a lead white, all right? So you learned how to do that. Okay, now, I have another ferrule ready to go, so this doesn't wind up being a 2-hour video. This is a ferrule, this is a 3-inch piece. Now, what's easier to wipe, a 3-inch or a 4-inch? It's the same thing, just a longer area, a longer net area. So, we don't need the drill right now, we'll put that away. We do need to put some plumber soil on here. As you can see, this joint's been used a few times for practice. And it's got some soil on it, it's got some tape here, and it's got areas missing soil. So, there's one more step before the white. We got our furnace cooking right now. It's ready to get some lead on this puppy right now. So let's soil this joint up. So we're gonna open up our plumbing soil right here. We're gonna get our brush. Now wherever we put the plumbing soil is where we don't want the lead to go. It's just like a thick paste, and we're just gonna apply it everywhere we do not want lead to be. So you're going to go around the whole piece, and you're going to put it wherever you do not want lead to be. All right, now normally you're better off to let the plumbing soil dry. We're not going to have time for that today, because I'm just going to show you how to do a lead wipe. So we're going to leave this, we're going to try and put it on dry. How's that? We're going to cover up all the areas where we don't want the lead to not stick. Anywhere where there's brass or lead sticking. Now the one thing and the most important thing when you're pouring lead is if you pour the molten lead through this lead piece, it'll go right through it and it'll make a hole. The piece is gone, you just throw the whole thing in the garbage and start all over. So when you're pouring the lead itself, never pour it on the lead. You always pour the lead on a ferrule only, okay? So you're only pouring the lead on the brass, on the ferrule, okay? You're not pouring the lead on the lead, all right? Now, There's a couple of tricks you could do, or you could just stick to the way they used to do it in the old days. You could take your torch. Now when I use my torch on the lead, I use the number 2 tip. You're probably saying, wow, why is he using the number 2? Now I use the number 8 to braze, and if I'm brazing big pipe, I use the number 11. I always use the number 2 on lead because it's so sensitive. So I just use the number 2 tip, and believe me, it's more than enough. But if you wanted to take your number 2 and you want to heat your ferrule, it would work instead of using the lead itself. But I'm going to teach you how to do it the old school way, using the lead itself. Okay? So now we just plumb and soiled up. We're done with our plumb and soil. Okay? And we're going to take our tape off and we're going to do a lead joint. Okay, so now we're pulling our tape. We don't need our hammers anymore. We don't need our plumb and soil anymore. And we're about to pour lead. Okay, welcome back to Lead Wipe Part 4, and hopefully the finale. We have our wax paper here, okay? I'm going to show you why it's wax paper in a second. But we have our wax paper, which is very important. We have our ladle. We have our pot of lead right here, okay? On the top of the lead, which we melt, we're going to skim the top of it. Can you get the video on that? If you see, we got the scale up here and the shine of the dirty lead. We want to clean that, and we want to get rid of the, I use an old frying pan to get rid of it. But we also want to check our temperature of our lead to see if our lead is at a good temperature. And this is a trick I was taught from some old timers. You want to stick the paper in, and you want the paper to be brown. If the paper goes on fire, she's too hot. You just want a little brown. So we got a real good temperature going on here. So we're at right temperature, all right? So now we got our lead piece there, we got our paper here, and we got our ladle. Now what's important? It's important to have everything at temperature so the lead's going to stick, all right? So we got our candles here, all right? I have my spatula, which you'll see, my putty knife, you'll see what that's for in a minute. But we're going to take some candles, and we're going to start to melt some candles. Well, what's the candle do? The candles do a lot. You can't do any of this without the candle. But we need the wax. So we're going to heat our ladle. We're going to get our wax, and we're going to get our wax on the paper. We want our paper to be nice and waxed, because we don't want the lead to go through it. We're going to do a couple of times. I had already did it a few times before I turned the tape on. I didn't want to bore everybody. But we're going to get some wax going here, and we're going to get it going real good. Nice and hot. The bigger the paper, the better. We're going to get some good wax area here. Now, we got the back of our ladle wax. Now, what else are we going to wax? Most important part, you got to have a good wiping rig. You can't wipe without a good wiping rig. So what are we going to do? This is my good wiping rig. So I'm going to take my wiping rig, I'm going to get me some good wax on it, and I'm going to make sure that my wiping rig feels really good to me, because it has to. I put 3 fingers. I put one on this side, and one in the middle, so that when I take my lead joint, I can go right around it, okay? Now, what am I going to do now? So now I got my waxing rag ready, okay? I got my ladles hot, and I got my newspaper ready to receive some wax, okay? This is 700 degrees. You can burn yourself. It's very dangerous. So when you're doing it, okay, I'm going between 2 papers because it's a lot, all right? But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a ladle of wax and just watch how fast this goes. Right now I'm just heating my ferrule, okay? All I'm doing is heating the ferrule. I'm not doing a lead joint yet. I'm heating the ferrule. That's all I'm doing. I'm going to heat the ferrule again, all right? If you're watching, I'm just heating the ferrule. I don't even want any of this lead to stick. I want none of the lead on me yet. you'll see why. Okay. Now we're going to take our paper. We're going to bring it back. We're going to move our lead around. You see how I'm moving the lead around? Look at the lead in there. You see how the lead's in there? Look at that lead. Nice and ready. She's ready to get wiped. You see that? That's some good lead. Okay. But we didn't get our ferrule hot enough, so we're going to send it back to the pot. All right. There we go. Back in. All right. We got a little extra lead on this paper. So we're going to send this lead back in. Alright? And now what we're going to do is we're going to clean up. We're going to heat this ferrule again. But we got to clean up the top of this. Because from doing all that, we got dirt back into the lead again. See all that dirt? Get rid of it. Back to our ferrule. This is a process. Okay? This is an art and a process. Heat only on the brass, not on the lead. Only on the brass, not on the red. What we're doing right now is we're heating everything to get at the temperature we want, okay? If the brass isn't the right temperature, then your joint's not going on, okay? If the brass isn't the right temperature, then you're not getting that joint on. Puppy up, okay? Now she's getting good and hot now. Now you see our lead here? We're coming in. Look at that. See that? Okay? You're working the lead. Don't let the lead work you. You work the lead. Okay. Our brass is getting good and hot now, alright? Our brass is getting real good and hot. I do 2 ladles on the 3-inch. So now we know that the ferrule is good and hot. I want to roll it so we get it in uniform all the way around. You know, you don't want it in one shot. I want to get it in 2, but the wind isn't helping me today. But you want to get it in one good shot, not 2. Okay. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this lead and I'm going to try and get it into a nice wiping pattern. You see how I'm trying to get it all even here? Now, it takes a little time to get used to where the lead should be at when you wipe it, okay? But you'll start to get the hang of that after a while. But now you can see I'm going to roll it up. I'm rolling her up. I'm rolling her up. I'm rolling her up. You like that? You see how nice it is? But now everything in life is timing. So you need to have your timing exactly right when you start to wipe. If you wipe too soon, you don't get a real nice uniform joint like we want. See, we lost that piece right there a little bit. I'm going to try and bring it back. But we want a nice uniform, look at that. We want a nice uniform joint all the way around. We got to clean up our edges and we got to bring them around. And just for those of you that have never seen a real live lead wipe, now you just did. That is lead wiping 101. Okay? And you can see, look at that joint. You see that joint? You don't get better than that. Alright? That's 40-60. And I wish you guys good luck if it's a test. But basically, that's how you do it in New York. Good luck to everybody. End of part 4.